Hey guys, this is Jay coming to you with another video. If you have just joined, if this is your first video, welcome, thank you. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, just to make sure that you don't miss any upcoming videos. The channel itself is about cars, car shows, car reviews, and as if more recent, my new venture, which is real estate, how to flip houses, the things that I've learned flipping, and also how to make money in real estate. So this video is about the first house that I've recently sold. If you go back, if you watch my previous videos, you will know that I bought my first investment property back in January of 2018 with intention of fixing it up and reselling it. So I sold it quite a few months back, which is I believe it was July 27th of 2018. So here I do have the actual check that I received at closing. It shows the amount that I've received, so minus the payoff and everything else. It does include repair cost and the deposit that I had to give in order to get the loan. So if I zoom in, I hope you guys see this. It is, so it's about $68,676 total. I believe after, if you deduct everything, the repair cost and the deposit, I think I was left with about $25,000 on this, which if you guys you know, if you do if you do not real estate, investments like stock market and stuff, I put total $50,000, about $15,000 for down payment, and then another $35,000 to fix it up, so about $55,000. I made about 25, so that's about 20%, 45 to 50% return. In the stock market currently is about, maybe 10%, depending on which stock you have. So having that kind of return, it's pretty nice. But in this video, I would like to talk about the things that I've learned doing my first flip. So you kind of have a heads up, guys, if you are starting to do this and you're kind of looking to get into this, so you don't you have a more educated approach, or you have a little bit more heads up that I have. It might help you, again, it might help you avoid the pitfalls that I've encountered. So let's get started. The number one advice that I can give you guys is do not do this alone, or a warning. Number one warning is do not do this alone. I know I have friends that had the money. They didn't, I don't know for what reason, they didn't want to pay a realtor. They didn't want to, they wanted to maximize the profits, so they decided I'm going to do it on my own. It didn't pan out. I had friends that lost all their money. So I was thinking about it too a while back in 2008 when we had the market crash. I saw everybody making money off of these. I'm like, well, I didn't, even though I didn't have any experience, I really wanted to do it, and I kind of chose against it just because it is quite a lot of money. As you see on this one, it's $50,000. If you don't know what you're doing, you can lose your ass. So pretty fast, and I don't want anybody to go through that, especially when you're starting up and you don't have much money to begin with. So don't do it on your own. The best way to do it, and the way I've done it, is I found a realtor. Also, with a realtor, caution, do not get anybody, because as you guys know, realtors are pretty much salespeople for houses. In every salesman objective is to sell you that so she can make a commission, just like everything else, right? In the stock market, if you have a trading platform, you know, you can buy sell stock. They will take a percentage or a flat fee every time you trade buy sell stocks. Same thing with the house. So they will, you know, they'll try to sell your house because that's what they make the commission on. If you make money off of it, if you don't, just like the stock market, you know, it's not their interest, pretty much. If not, I'm not saying every realtor is like that. I mean, you know, but I would say just kind of watch out, kind of have that in the back of your mind that that can happen. Because, like I said, you know, so in my case, I am working with, like I said, I got a realtor. Also, when you get a realtor, backtrack, make sure he knows what he's doing. He's been in this business. He knows the ups and downs. He knows the market. He's done investment properties himself, so he knows the back roads. He knows how to navigate, how to give you advice. In my case, the realtor that I'm working with, he's been in the business for about 18 years. He started when he was literally 18 years old. And he has done quite well for himself. So that's kind of really, it's, especially when you're starting out, it's a good thing to have peace of mind that you know, hey, he's got your best interest in mind. He knows what he's doing. So it's gonna show. It won't be as stressful. It's going to make a lot smoother process from start to finish. So make sure you have a realtor that knows what he's doing. He has your best interest in mind. Like I said, make sure he's like a man, because eventually you want that realtor to be your mentor, to show you the ropes, to show you how to do it, to teach you, show you ups and downs. And not just, you know, sell your house and make commission. Number two, financing. What I found out is, and if you went to the beginning of the video, is there's two types of financing. The way I went is through a bank, just because I didn't have enough. I didn't want to spend all my cash. Also with the interest rates the way they are, I kind of didn't want to use my own money. So there's two options. Again, one is cash, one is financing. If you have enough money to do all cash, congratulations. That is the best way. This is the faster way. You're going to make a lot. You're going to be able to profit a lot faster. And I am not kind of going to get into that because it's a straightforward process. You write a check, you get the house, you fix it up, you sell it, and we are done. So I am going to focus on the aspect of the loan, how to start investing in real estate using loans, using banks. The process, it is a lot. Well, it is not a lot harder. It is harder. It does require more legwork, more research, and more time. So that, which kind of eats into your profits, because at the beginning you can't turn the houses over really fast. But it is possible. Don't let that be a deterrent that says, hey, I don't have money. I don't have the possibility of starting it. It is possible. It'll just take a little bit more work from the get-go. So in my case, I did go with financing, so let me break down these three things. One is, when you do financing, not every house, as with cash, will qualify for a loan, which I mean is, Uh, when I talked to the banks, they told me pretty much that you have to, when you buy a house, you have to look for a house that has livable condition, which means it has to have flooring, it has to have walls in the right shape, it has to have the roof right. You know, so pretty much you have to be able to live in it from day one. Yes, you might have to cosmetic repairs and whatnot, but the essentials are there. If you don't have that, you will not get loan. So which kind of puts an envelope in which houses you can look at, and you know which houses you can bid on, versus with cash you can buy any house you want. So that is one thing. Second is the time. So if you get a loan, I found out that you have to hold the house for a certain amount of time before you can sell it. On my first house, it was 6 months, so I was not able to sell it for the first 6 months. In my case, it was good because since it is my first flip, I had more time to kind of take it easy, take it slow, learn the process, learn how to deal with, you know, how to talk to contractors, how, you know, just kind of, I didn't have to run the first day, so I kind of had, you know, I could learn to walk, so which helped me. So, but you will have to hold the house longer than with a cash option. So number 3, guys, is margins. So when you find a house, you have real estate, it matches the floor plan, everything is fine. You can get approval for the house through financing. Make sure that you know you have your margins right. So run the comps. Make sure that the comps match. You know what you're going to sell the house, what the sale price of the house will be after it's fixed. You know, that will kind of help you understand what you have to buy the house for. Also, this is a good thing with the realtor, is that he can, if you know, going back to don't get anybody, he will be able to give you a realistic number of what the house will sell for based on the market value, the current market conditions. He's not going to overestimate it, so you wind up buying the house because you think, hey, I'm going to make $60,000, when in reality it might be more than 20, but he's not telling you that. So, and then, like I said, then that might help you adjust your negotiation for the actual purchase price. So make sure you get the margins right. Also to estimate, so a good, from my experience, what I've learned is 20% return is a good number. Anything up, you want to be about 30 is what from what I'm seeing, but you don't go below 20. Also make sure that when you estimate the repair cost, guys, I've learned this later, and then I had to make up for it in pretty much in my profit, is that when you estimate your repair cost, so when you go through the inspection and walking through the house, kind of, you know, seeing what needs to be repaired, and once you get that number, being it 25, 30, I don't know what it is, add about 10 to 15% on top just for unforeseen expenses, because those expenses will be there through the first. The reason why you want to see those is because, like I said, you don't have a clean look at the house, because you know stuff is still there. You know you're doing the walkthrough while people are still living there, if that's the case, because they haven't moved out, so you're not going to see everything. And then when they move out, you're gonna, when you start the process, you're gonna start seeing those things that you haven't seen, and which will push your estimate higher. So in my case, my initial estimate was $30,000, wind up being about 35. So that's about 15% higher than what I expected it to be. So make sure you know like I said, what the house is worth once it's fixed, what is the sale price, and how much will you spend to fix it up. And then that will give you your, and make sure that the remaining number is about 20% or greater, so you don't get in trouble. Then so next point that I've learned is, this is on my own, something that I've discovered on my own, and I kind of just taking the initiative doing it, is learning about what sells, what house sells, what floor plan sells, areas, and so forth. Like, you know, what counties, in which counties house sell. In my particular, you know, I'm living in Kansas City, so like Overland Park, Lenexa, Northtown, those are kind of right now the places where it's a seller's market. So if you find a house there, you won't have to hold a lot. You won't hold the house for a very long time before somebody buys it. So that's you kind of need to know which areas are hot. Also, which floor plans sell. So to back up, when I started, I've learned that 3-1 split, which is 3 bedroom, 1 bath, is not a desirable combination. If you find a house like this, you will probably wind up having to add a bathroom. Just the reason why is because if most these houses are going to be occupied by families. So if you only have 1 bathroom and you have 3 or 4 people living, they will have to kind of wait for bathroom. Like it's going to create wait line, and people don't want that. So that is something that you kind of wanna learn about, kind of get your hands wet if you want. In my case, I also learned that split level is not as desirable as a reversed range, because it's just 1 level. With the split level, you have stairs from the entrance up. So that's another thing that potentially some people don't like stairs, so they don't want to deal with that. So that was, at 10. Another thing that I've learned and I got bitten on, which is my next point, is once you have estimated your price, you bought it, everything is fine, you closed on it, you know what your upgrades are, what you need is get with like I said, get with your realtor. He can tell you also which areas will give you the most money back for the house, for your investment. So if in my case it was the kitchen, so I put pretty much literally 30% of my budget in the kitchen. We went with, if you look at the videos before and after, you saw we put granite countertops, backsplash, new fixtures, new flooring, I mean the whole 9 yards, because that was the area where you can get your most returns on. So again, if you talk to your realtor, if he knows what he's doing, he'll be able to tell you which areas you want to focus on. But one thing that I didn't know was once we got done with everything, everything was fine. Everything was up, the way it's supposed to be, or what we planned on. But we didn't, and then we listed it, and we had literally 60 showings in a month, which is pretty decent, which is two showings a day. I mean, on the weekends, we literally had 5-6 people through the doors. But we never had an offer, and we were kind of dumbfounded. What is going on? We knew the area was great. We did the upgrades that we wanted to do. The housing market, it's in the area where you should literally within a week you should be able to sell the house. And we were here about a month in, and we weren't able to sell it. So we found out that 2 weeks in, one of the reviews came back and says, yes, we like the house, we like the floor plan, everything is great. The problem we are having for this price range or the price that you're asking is the quality of work, which means is, yes, you've done everything, but the way it's executed sucks. And that is something that really hit home, because now I'm done with the house. Everything is done, and I can go back and redo everything. If I do, I'm gonna blow my budget completely out of the water, and it's gonna add time, and I kind of don't want to go back and put the sale on hold. So pretty much that, to go around it, I wind up selling the house about $25,000 less for what I initially quoted, what the quote was. So we wind up buying it, like I said, thinking about selling for $250. We wind up selling for $225. And that is one thing that you guys need to pay attention to when you get the contractor in. Make sure that everything is done the way it's supposed to, from paint, from lighting, fixtures, to that is everything is clean. There's no there's no spots that need to be touched up, paint hanging, so everything is nice and neat. In my case, it was, I forgot to paint the railings, or I didn't think I needed to paint the railings, so I left. And I kind of like the original wood. If you look at the videos, again, refer to the previous videos, the walkthroughs. I left the railings unpainted because I liked natural wood. Found out I should have painted them white because all the wear and tear showed the age of the house. And you don't want to do that, because you want to present the house as pretty much brand new, something that even even it's been repaired, it looks brand new. Another thing that I had an issue with was walls, because we had foundation issues. There were some cracks in the walls once the foundation was fixed. So when we wind up fixing these cracks, the guy who apparently we filled them in too far. So when we repainted them, I think there was still some movement, and it pushed that filler out, so you can still see the cracks. So you can see the filler over the areas that got filled in, and some we missed, like in the shower. Some of the cracks we missed. So it just looked like you see it's not done right, which again, I paid the price in having to sell the house for less than what I initially wanted to sell it for, what was supposed to be sold for. So this is something that I'm going to take into consideration into my next project. So next house I do is going to be done right. It's not going to have these mistakes. So that is kind of, guys, the take on what I've learned doing my first flip. Again, I have made about 20, even after everything, I have made, like I said, about $25,000, everything, just because, going back, the margins is, I had pretty good margins. Like I said, I bought the house for $150. It was comped at $250, so $100,000. So even if I put, the 30, I was, like I said, so that was $180. So I was hoping to make 50. So 50%, which is, $250, 20%, $50,000. So I had quite a cushion. That's why I'm saying, guys, make that 20% your minimum. So even if you do go down, you're still not going to be upside down. So in this case, like I said, I only made 25, which is 10%, 12% off, but I didn't lose any money. So that's the main focus. You don't want to lose money. If I wanted to do better, that's fine, but the main thing is you don't want to lose. So those margins are, make sure you stick to those, so you don't get in trouble. And again, make sure that you got a good realtor, guys, because like I said, he's going to point you to all the right things. Like I said, from margins to what needs to happen to upgrades to market analysis, to the whole 9 yards. So and then again, to reiterate, you can get financing. It's not just cash home. Don't get deterred that I have to have cash on hand, because I know most people don't have $200,000 laying around. I don't have it either. So you can get a loan, you can get financing. It is a little bit harder, but it's possible, especially once you build up enough money in the bank, then you can start doing cash only, which will increase your profits significantly, because you're going to be able to sell houses a lot faster. Going forward, just a sneak peek, I am in the process of closing on another house, pretty much in the same area that this was in, not far, maybe 10 blocks away. Again, goes back to know what your areas are. I'm supposed to be closing in on the 22nd, and then I will run another walkthrough before and after all the upgrades that we're planning on doing. This will have a pool, guys, so it's another step from this one, because this one didn't have it. So I'm gonna document on how to deal with a pool when you have a house that has a pool, you know, repairing it, all that fun stuff. So again, please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it, you know, it gave you some good information if you are planning on doing this. And again, so once I get it, I will make another